Good evening, gamers. Happy Sunday, summoners, and get out of our game inters because it's time for Week 5 Risen Rampage hosted by Dynasty. I'm Charm Earth with my friend Isaac bringing you the action for tonight. Before we go any further, I want to remind everyone at home to drop a follow, leave a like, hit a subscribe, because even you can make a difference. Now, without further ado, let me toss it over to my buddy Isaac, who's going to give us a little insight on what we got going on tonight.
Yeah, because this week is the week 5 in Risen's Rampage. It's the final week of the regular season, and both these teams, Dynasty Amethyst and Tinderburst Esports Astral, they both sit at 4-0, and this matchup here is the winner takes first seed. Not quite all just yet, but definitely a large advantage going into the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. And we've wasted no time. We are right into draft. We look at the Vayne and the Silas ban in response. The Udyr hit. I saw a bunch of Udyr from one of the junglers. I do want to say it was Lil Juice Pack. Lil Juice Pack bangs out the Udyr, bangs out the Viego, bangs out the Lilia. A bunch of run at you champs. Keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of overlap with these two jungler pools that I've noticed. Definitely a lot of that short melee, sometimes heavy ganking, but definitely the initiators of team fights as the game goes on through. So that's personally like the second tier in my opinion of like fun junglers, because you have like Kha'Zix as the fun to cast anyway. That's to cast. Let's leave it at that. I do rate these jungle pools, but Ivern will be taken off the board, and in recent patches, Ivern's gained a little bit of popularity even in pro play, so definitely a little bit of strength there. I don't know if you have any insight to that one, Charmed, or...
Yeah, our team loves Ivern. Ivern's strong in the mid and the jungle. But I do want to keep an eye out for Illicit Raven's Ashe here, because my man has close to 20 games, a 4.0 KDA, and it is left open, and it's a pretty strong first pick, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely one, especially since Static Shiv is in fact an item now. But Melio, someone you haven't covered just yet, will be locked in for Dynasty, and this does make sense. This does check out.
Yeah, and that, I mean, when we loop back around, I wouldn't be surprised to see that paired with the Ashe when the Ashe passive procs with the Melio E. I mean, you can really hit someone from pretty far out. It's pretty impressive. Looking at 200 years locked in from Tinderburst Esports Astral, kind of matching that Astral name. They want Aphelios to bring it down.
Then you lock in DYNA next, if we're really going on that train.
We're doing like the whole sun and moon thing. I kind of like that.
Yeah, well, that was only moon so far, but sure, why not?
Well, yeah, I'm setting up the Leona. I'm sorry.
True. I mean, Leona's definitely, well, all engaged supports have recently gained a little bit of popularity, just in general, and I do rate that. That being said, some champion that somehow slipped through my cracks, I feel like I should have noticed this. Nico.
Yeah,
left open and selected on red side.
No surprise there. LCK had Nico locked in almost anytime she was not banned. She was picked R2 or R3 in almost every LCK game this season. She's really strong. Team fighting opportunities, a lot of AoE. If you get landed, if Aphelios lands the root gun, purple gun on you, there's that Ashe that I was talking about. I mean, it could be a lot of damage coming out from TEA.
Yeah, and also the fact that she can turn into minions now. I mean, much less the counting minions in the wave. Like, sure, that is slightly annoying. In my opinion, what's worse is the fact that it only shows up as a tiny little red dot on the map for the enemy. It's a lot harder to track, because especially if you've like played for a long time, your eyes just start peripherally seeing the mini map and the image of the champion pop up without having to fully look over at it. And so there's so many times that Nico just walks in as a minion, goes completely under the radar because it's not something that we're just adjusted to seeing on the mini map yet. So definitely that has that aspect of it too.
And the intangibles that you get from Nico, especially when a team wants to play around mid, if that's where this champ is going, is really strong. Little things like stepping out of vision, stepping in vision as the jungler, stepping back out of vision to make somebody quickly think, oh, there's the jungler, doing that as the support, throwing your W, your clone, down into bushes to check for wards or check for someone sitting there. It's the intangibles that really bring Nico to the table for me. However, I do want to point out that just because she is strong right now doesn't mean that the person piloting them knows that those like sneaky Nico things. You kind of need to know the sneaky Nico things. So
Yeah, but there's something that I do want to point out. This is Ziggs. Ziggs locked in for a Tenebris. Do you know anything? Do you know anything about this angle specifically? Maybe that what Tenebris might try doing with this one, or
I am pulling that up. It looks like that Nico is a locked in support. The Bane, Bane
support.
898. Yeah, Bane 898
Okay.
has his second most mid games are on Ziggs. So and
Oh,
his first mid champ is Silas, which TEA ended up banning out.
yeah.
Yeah, so lock gives him a second choice. So and they picked the Syndron B3, so he had a response pick. It's pretty smart. I like it. A lot of shoving power. Holy moly. A lot of AoE, a lot of shoving. I would love to see you need a little bit more hard CC from TEA to keep people in the Ziggs bomb, keep people in the Nico ult, and you got a scary comp here.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what they go in, but the bans coming out from the second round, not quite going to be that few. It's going to be Orin, Trundle, Yumi, thank God, and Olaf all off the table. Not going to be available. I think the Yumi ban is actually a little bit interesting because, as you said, it's most likely going to be that Nico support.
Yeah, and
if your assumption is right.
I wonder if they were worried about it flexing into the jungle, obviously. But and Piplup's most played champ is Yumi, so maybe they just wanted to cover their booties a little bit. Maybe they didn't know what's going.
And though it might not always be optimal, it certainly is always welcome to ensure that the cat's not in the game, because that's my go-to ban, whether she's good or not. I just like in solo queue, you just ban Yumi every game, because I just find that champion so annoying to play against.
All right, so Dynasty Amethyst is looking to lock in the Shen, and when push comes to shove, I think in these competitive games that tend to be a little bit more pressure cooked than most of the matches that we play. Swapping it over the set.
It's not locked in yet.
Not yet, yeah. The question I always like to ask here, Isaac and Twitch, is who is playing the easier comp on the surface? Because I think that really tends to shine in matches. When you're not trying to do too much and you are just trying to press R, layer CC, and do things that broken champions do. So
yeah, the ease of execution is certainly something to consider, especially like the, I guess, lower ranks you start going. It's the reason why Amumu's kind of giga busted in Iron, because he just goes and presses R, wins. But I think at this point, it's a little bit up in the air in my opinion. So the Jax locked in. I was going to say I slightly favored Tenebris, but with Jax, I mean Jax is still fairly strong right now, though, just in general. So I don't know. It's fairly even, I'd say, in terms of ease of execution at the very least.
Right, and I think the Jax pairs real well with the Sejuani when the fights happen. Helps the CC angle. I like both team comps. I'm a little scared of TEA. They look like a scary comp there.
Yeah, they do have also that little bit of extra comfort coming through. Ziggs being able to, as you mentioned, being Bane's just his comfort food that just makes you kind of feel good. And sometimes, and it's not the most high stakes match of the season, likely for both of these teams, but still definitely one that has some fairly heavy implications. So getting that comfort sometimes can just be all the difference you need in these matches.
Yeah, and I mean it's silly. We were talking about Nico's intangibles, but now I'm looking at TEA's comp. Like the intangibles from Ziggs, it could be really dangerous in a winning lane, and you get the package down in the right place. If you're not monitoring that Ziggs split push potentially, where the CS is growing, and he's just shoving waves, you know the potential from his Q, and it could be a scary recipe. Could be a scary recipe.
This is when they secretly flip it on their heads and run 1-3-1 split push the whole game with Ziggs and Jackson side lanes.
Yeah,
I don't think there's enough. I don't think there's enough. I mean, Nico's wave clear is all right. I don't know if it'd exactly be the best for that, but we can always imagine.
yeah.
It would be hilarious if they did.
The hypothetical, like the three man team in your hypothetical situation is kind of grisly. You got Sejuani, Aphelios, and Nico. Sorry, Sejuani, Nico, and Aphelios running at you as Ziggs is shoving, and Jax get to potentially TP. Scary stuff.
It's a potential angle, but I do believe we should be entering the spectator delay right about now. Usually, no word on that yet. Whether or not the draft has gone through in the client, because there's always that little final little element of sometimes where somebody plays like Ziggs jungle and you're just like, wait, hold on, what?
No,
I've been there. I mean, not Ziggs jungle to that extreme, but
if we saw a Ziggs jungle tonight,
yeah.
I'm signing out, and someone could step in for the cast because I'm focusing in on the game. I need to take down notes on how to run that one.
Yeah, this is the forbidden Ziggs jungle tech that you're not told about in pro play. No,
How many? Let's talk about the nuts and the meat and potatoes here. How many static shivs? Twitch chat. How many static shivs?
How many static shivs? At least 10 in game 1, right?
At least 10 in game 1.
Well, maybe 9 if Milio doesn't build one.
Let's see. Ash is gonna get one. Will
yes. Probably at some point if it goes long enough. That depends on the duration, but I'd say that's like a half a static shiv right there.
So the real question is, by the end of the evening, what's our static shiv predictions? Flavor of the month, how many static shivs are we shooting for?
All right. This is a bit sudden, but I really wish we would have had a static shiv counter. Somebody in the game, we can get your predictions in for channel points. How many static shivs will be built? I'm going to say, like, Ash is definitely going to get one for sure. I feel like
Ash is one. Yep.
Yeah,
Aphelios if it goes late.
Aphelios could definitely if you get around 30 minutes.
But the thing is, we're probably going to get Ash again next game. Like you're probably not going to ban the Ash, so that's 2 static shifts. You know what I'm saying?
That's at least 2.
Is the Aphelios switching? Aphelios, so maybe like, are we going 3 games? So I'm saying 5. I'm saying 6 static shifts. I'll say 6.
6 static shifts. I'm going to say this game. I wouldn't be surprised Ziggs goes static, honestly.
That I was actually thinking it, but his wave clear is so crazy already with the Q. I don't think he.
Yeah, I know, but why don't you just make it even more crazy? Sure, it's good, but it could be better.
I can't even fathom how fast that would go. How fast the lane would get going.
Yeah, I'm going to say Ziggs builds one, right? This is my angle. I'm going to say Ziggs builds one. I'm going to say there's 3 static shivs this game because like maybe Nico or Syndra or somebody less expected pulls out a static shiv, right? We're going to say 3 this game. We're going to say 4 next game, and it's going to be a Dynasty Amethyst 2-0. Yeah, I'm going to say 7 static shivs. That's my final prediction for this series. Do you have Charm? Do you have your prediction on how many static shivs we get?
No, I locked mine in. I think I said 6. I'm cool with 6. I'm going with
6.
I'm thinking
6. Yeah. Okay.
No. Let me think.
I'm writing this down. I have the sauce. This is written. It's official.
Right. If you're writing it down, then I'm saying 1 this game, 1 next game, And if we go with third game, 1. So I'll say 3 if we go 3 games.
Okay, so we got 30 static shivs locked in for you. I'm saying 7. That's my lock-in. And with that, the also important prediction that really is how the game is decided these days, at least if we like to imagine it is. We are going to send to break as we have into the spectator delay, but when we come back, we'll be on the rift for Dynasty Amethyst versus Tinniburst Esports Astral and Risen's Rampage Week 5. We will see you there. And we have loaded back onto the rift for game 1 here between Dynasty Amethyst and Tinniburst Esports Astral for Risen's Rampage Week 5. Hello, everyone, and we get a line of scrimmage start. Char.
Yeah. Nothing crazy, no invades, no mistakes.
So
no level 1.
This is where we sit down and say, okay, so just for the confirmation, for if you just tuning in, for this series, I have a prediction of 7 static shivs built, and Charm says 3. So this is our bragging rights online. We'll probably both get it wrong, so it'll be hilarious. But
side with me, Twitch chat. Just side with me early. It's closest without going over. If you don't know what that means, it doesn't matter.
Oh, wait, we've got Kim. Oh, well, they saw each other at the very least.
All right.
Kind of an awkward situation there between Give Me a Cup Twice and the little juice pack, but
Ooh,
I think neither of them were really ready for that.
Yeah, which is, a little nerves, a little early nerves. Maybe neither of them wanted it. So let's just go to lane normally. I'm excited to see. Okay, really early. Let's keep an eye on the Nico, nasty Nico strategy. So we're looking at two Aphelios' bot lane on the map. Keep an eye on that. Yeah.
Yeah, two Aphelioses? God.
Oop, scrapping.
Next, we do have a bit of an exchange on the top side. The health bar's already gone down. Top side actually having some action for the first time in God knows however long. Yeah, they need it. But, I mean, as it is, commentating over like maybe not exactly the best average. We'll hit that level 2 first. Looking a little bit advantageous there in the top side map, but for now, yeah, the Nico strats as the support, because I don't myself personally, I have not seen it played support yet, though I know it can be. I don't know the sauce there.
All right, I got you on some sauce. One, turn into if you're a melee minion, you get more attack speed as the fight goes down with Outrage and Uno Dos Thresh. Yet again, these two do not like each other. We're only 2.5 minutes into the game. Let's keep an eye on that. Clear disrespect towards one another. Okay, so if you're Nico, here's some fun stuff. If you're dressed as the melee minion, you have more attack speed. You always, if you want to be tricky, you turn into the melee minion and you come to the lane in the front of the line. Everyone knows now to count minions. Oh, Nico's in the game, count minions. But if you come to the lane in the front of the line and just throw your E, it doesn't matter if you count or not because you look just like the wave. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah, see, there we go. We got the tech down.
I got another one for you.
Okay, what's the other tech?
Into the cannon. And you come to the wave as the cannon, like the can. Ooh, Vayne.
Yeah, Vayne getting very dangerously low, but it's not at a point yet where OTF can without ignite really doesn't have kill potential unless he lands another orb here. But
which he was looking for. Yeah, we're in a competitive game. We're in a competitive match. We're not in solo queue. He brought teleport. Both of these guys brought teleport.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you turn into a cannon, you can't come to the wave as a cannon minion in the cannon wave. That's so obvious. You can't do it the next wave either, because that's pretty obvious. But the wave after that, if you come to the lane as the cannon minion in the middle of the wave, you usually can trick someone. Does that make sense? You get that one?
Yeah, I do get it. I feel like that has to have a lot of prep work put into it, otherwise, missing EXP, and that thing's a nice little snare there, but shields and stuff.
Here's some other little ones. You ready?
Okay.
You step into the bush, you switch to the jungler, and you just send your clone back through the bushes. So then the other team thinks, oh, the jungler was here, I guess he's leaving. And meanwhile, you're still standing in the ground. Oop, as the E follow-up to lock down the root on Toxic Koopa.
You're saying they're still not really a place where there's a lot of lethal just yet in that bottom lane. Really, only just now they actually started attempting to trade with each other. There really wasn't much for the first 3 levels. But, as I mentioned, both teleports are down now in the mid lane, so if it gets a bit more bloody, a bit more violent, Vayne's getting a lot of poke downs. OTF does miss quite a few of his abilities, so without those 2 teleports, that could definitely become a source of trouble for the side of Dynasty Amethyst.
Yeah, and both of these champions in the mid doing different things, obviously. It'll be interesting to see how Tenebris Esports Astral works around what Ziggs brings to the table as a champion. I always like especially seeing that Bane plays it so much. I'm assuming he'll really be advantageous about using those passives to blow up towers, and I'm excited.
Oh, we do have a gank though. A little juice pack here. That's going to be a flash away from Bane. It will be enough to get the kill. First blood going on side to Dynasty Amethyst, going specifically onto OTF Syndra with the help of a little juice pack there. We finally, after 6 minutes, get our first drop of blood here, Charm.
Yeah, we're going to get a little follow-up in the top action as Uno Dos Thresh is looking for level 6. The big problem there, teleport down, so we're walking a lane. OTF did match Flash, though, however, so neither mid laner has Flash coming into whatever goes next in the mid lane.
Yeah, and as both are fairly immobile, I mean, I guess you could say Ziggs kind of has the W. That's a little bit less reliable. That being said, little juice pack here. getting spotted out by Give Me a Cup, and as he is a level down on the enemy jungler, will just back away there as he goes invisible and just hops away. He does he does a little bit of his monkey business there. That being said, that does. I don't know about the timings on his camp specifically, especially on this top side. Seeing as he doesn't have the blue buff available, I'd have to assume it's. I don't know if it was stolen or not because there's that control word on the camp, and I'm just kind of thinking maybe that might be it. And also, as you get to this top side, that would open up the dragons you see now being taken by Tenebris Esports Astral. They're uncontested, and it's really not much that I think Lil Juice Pack can take back on this top side of the map, at least not immediately.
Yeah. And with like, okay, it worked out for Toxic Koopa because he was sitting at like a 10 to 12, sometimes 15 CS deficit kind of the whole game. And although they gave away the first dragon, we all kind of know, hey, it's first dragon, it's okay. And he used that time to catch up, and I really like that. The interesting part is...
Instead, as we have the gank coming towards the bot lane, it will be body blocked by Illicit Riven. And that will be enough to keep both of them alive. That being said, that's going to be every last summer spell used in the bottom lane. And without Emilio's level 6 just yet, won't quite have that safety that it brings. So I'd say look very soon to another gank into the bottom side of the map again, potential.
Yeah, and the cleanse coming in clutch as he escaped his butt out of there. In response, Melio did use heal. Melio did use the W, tons of healing from that. Melio, the brand new champ, has 2 procs of his E, which give your teammate movement speed, and I believe a little bit of shield, if I remember right.
It does, yeah. Oh, wait, yeah. We got a dive coming through in the top lane. He will come out from Outrage, so he won't have that shield left available. Unodo's Thresh, though, will just take too much damage from OTF as he picks up his second kill of the game.
And a really good rotation by Sejuani in response to hold down the wave. Doesn't let too much get thrown into the tower. Thing is, they might have a timer to contest this Herald. About when Jax will show up, it'll be kind of close, but if they want to walk in, what they would find is a fun little surprise. Wukong by himself.
Yeah, but they really don't have any vision on this, but they could definitely be an attempt. So yeah, 2,500 health now. It's possible. Bane's here. It's going to be numbers advantage, and it's going to be a contested smite. It's an early smite for it looks like Little Juice Pack as he goes down, and yeah, that will be Give Me a Cup twice, picking up that Eye of the wait, who picked up the Eye? No, it was the early smite must have been from Give Me a Cup because it is actually Little Juice Pack with the Eye of the Rift Herald. So we'll be able to at least claim that much for my initial guess. It is a bit hard to tell with smites looking exactly the same.
Yeah, it'd be cool if there was like different colors. Imagine maybe one blue, one red. Who knows?
That would make observing so much easier.
Yeah.
Smite fights? Oh my god. Dude, wait. Hold on. Someone get on the line to Rito. Let's get on the line to Mark Merrill right now so we can have another feature that will never see itself in the Spectator.
Yeah. So
jokes aside,
I do want to point out Aphelios did
got a gank towards the mid lane. OTF will be able to pick up the kill onto Bane there. That being said, with so little health and nowhere to go, you have to imagine that will be the shutdown. Getting picked up by Give Me a Cup twice there in return, but at the very least, a 1v1 through that gank for OTF and Dynasty Amethyst.
Yeah, Syndra blows the flash, manages to pick up the kill. A lot of people would say worth on the end. The wave crashes in the middle. Kind of, a little flex. I like it.
Yeah, that
himself up.
Yeah, that extra golden XP that you pick up on the back end of that, always a little bit extra that you can always say haha to the enemy. That's when you play the mental warfare game in alt chat and you're like somehow can't win 1v1.
Start emoting.
Yeah. That's the emote game. It's the secret meta. That being said, we have a gank straight to the bot side now. The Pop Blossom will come through. Stun up too. And as the teleport comes down, might try to find a counter gank here. Flash forward from the Aphelios, going to catch him out, and that's going to be the stun from Set as he picks up both the Aphelios and the Sejuani there, ensuring that Little Juice Pack does finally get that kill. showstopper coming through from Outrage. Not quite enough damage to pick out
Whoa.
Piplup. That being said, Little Juiceback will flash in, but we're taking 2 really heavy tower shots there. I believe that would be the 3rd and 4th tower shots coming through as they get progressively stronger, but he will have enough to come out alive of that play. So a very good counter gate from the side of Dynasty Amethyst. That being said, this isn't quite over just yet. They're still getting spawned up, and Give Me a Cup only on about half health, still staying down, thinks that maybe he can stay here and not get dove. Will kill the Herald. It is down. As you mentioned, the Ziggs is starting to move towards the bot side of the map, but I do believe both teams will just start to move away from this fight here.
Yeah, we were keeping an eye on that ult. You know how long that range is. Those health bars were looking awfully slow. Bane getting some support from Sejuani with the ult.
There it is. That is not the best ult you'll ever see from the Sejuani, but I don't think it'll matter. But it might cost Bane his life. Does get the kill there, and was that the Triumph proc that killed him there? I think it might have been. Is he running? I don't know what he's running secondary. It might have been. Because if he does have... Because, yeah, Ziggs just suddenly healed a little bit there as the kill went through. He was burning down, so... with the...
no, he has...
Corrupting Point.
He has Comet, Mana Flow Band, Transcendence, Scorch, and his second tree is Boots and Biscuit.
Well... I'm trying to imagine what that little bit of healing was there at the end.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. Huh.
Does Nico have anything? What has Nico got that might have healed?
I don't know. Not anything that I can see. Sometimes this game leaves you wondering as to what happens when, but
let's talk.
Turns out Ghost healing. Or maybe because Ghost is a summoner spell, maybe not calling it Ghost healing. As you're saying, there it is. Oh, that's going to be the knock-up end. So Piplup will be exposed there. No longer that sneaky. That being said, Enchanted Crystal Arrow will come through, only find its way landing onto Give Me a Cup twice. Nico and the Pop Blossom coming through. Or no, that was the campfire. They look so similar.
This fight has been
I saw Piplup walking forward, and that will be the snare coming through, and the Pop Blossom will be used that time. Picks up the kill into Toxic Koopa. That being said, Drink goes very low as Little Juice Pack does return that for a 1v1 trade, and as Illicit Ripping goes very low, now down 2v1 over to the side of Tenebrous, but probably not for much longer as Piplup's also gone very low, but straight over to the middle side of this map, OTF will manage to dodge all those skill shots there. Kills getting traded left, right, and center, but at the end of it, it will be a 2-for-3 trade up for the side of Tenebrous Esports Astral, and what would very likely be the second Drake of the game.
Yeah, that was a Mexican standoff for way too long. One of the teams was itching to pull the trigger. The Astral.
Oh, wait, here we go. Outrage trying to find the solo kill in the top lane. There it is.
Yeah.
And just fairly well played. OTF not recalling here, deciding to stick around for this, maybe thinking that they can try to steal this away. I mean, it would be very impressive if he can. No vision and okay.
And Wukong did not seem to agree fully. But he does want to set up Herald a little bit with this set shove. The teleport, the teleport kind of will bring that situation back to normality. Ooh, Ziggs comes up here. We know what Ziggs can do.
Oh yeah, the shoving lane. Turret. Yeah, and the Rift Herald, no dragon available. Definitely. These two teams already starting to look towards that next objective because it was very slightly seen, but the set tech on wave clearing, on pushing in that wave and taking like 2 tower shots to be able to use the full power of the W there to clear the wave in one hit.
Watch out, Ziggs.
Yeah, it is a very dangerous situation. Will have already jumped away, and it'll actually be fine.
All right. So 15 minutes, 15 kills. This game has been completely bloody. There's going to be a Herald spawning. You know we're going to get a few deaths here. Aphelios is nowhere near this.
No, but it is also equal numbers in terms of just numbers.
Set can show right up. Set has teleport.
He does. Oh shoot! Sometimes looking at cooldowns, his brain had no thoughts, head empty. But yeah, you didn't. Set does have that teleport advantage, something that Ghost definitely doesn't have.
They should start this. Lean on this thing. Set's walking up. See, Aphelios will never in a million years make it up there. In 200 years, I should have said. Now that's the joke.
Ah, yes, Mr. 200 years himself. The original. But that being said, I mean,
all right, so set is
first
here.
just
We got
going to walk right in.
504.
Here we go. Now we have a fight coming through as the Cyclone does come through from Lil Juice Pack. Does get a decent bit of damage through, but not finding any kills there. But the extra pressure they have from positioning, as a result, they'll just queue their way towards this Rift Herald as they claim that. But
yeah, Dynasty
turned around. Dynasty just says, well, you can have your Rift Herald. We'll take 2 separate towers here. And honestly, I rate that decision from them. Very decisive, very good to realize that they don't exactly need that second Rift Herald, especially as, no more plates. The turrets just disappear after 14 minutes, Charlie. Right?
Correct. I did hear that actually. I checked Wikipedia.
Yeah, I looked at the LOL wiki, and that's what it said. That the outer turrets literally just disappear at 14 minutes. No, but the
17, almost 20 minutes here. The gold slightly in the favor of TEA. A lot of that gold is on the jungle. Not that much of the gold is on the Ziggs. The carries are they're biding their time to build on the K part of the KDA. But until then, Give Me a Cup Twice is going to be a strong front line. He has Jack Show finished. He has the Bammies finished. They have only 2 melee, but I mean, he's just going to be running around as much as he can. The question is Melia going to be able to heal in time? Is Melia going to be able to heal in time? 90 seconds until the dragon about, and we're going to get another fight.
I'd say it's highly likely, but one thing we do have to point out, since it is kind of a thing that we've established, that's 1 static Shiv on Toxic Koopa, so we're ever so closer towards your count of 3, my count of 7. But yeah, that is that item that I'm trying to find a metaphor with it. It's not coming to me. That just there was an attempt.
Ashel squeaks on by the Aphelios.
It does. That being said, here's Wukong with the Cyclone. Will land both knockups onto Tree, and that's the kill getting picked up by Lil Juice Pack. He flashes away from that tower, and as well OTF getting the kill onto the enemy supports. A 2-for-0 over to the side of Dynasty Amethyst, and this Unodo's Thresh kind of in a tough situation here. Will be stopped out and with massive disadvantage. Might try to find a single kill in return. Will not, though, as Toxic Koopa picks up the kill onto the enemy top laner as a 3-for-0.
Yeah, 30 seconds before Nash, 30 seconds before Dragon. The fights happening right now are crucial for both sides. This is going to be tight. So Juice Pack and friends used a ton of things as that fight developed. We have the Aphelios ult, we have the Nico ult, we have the Ziggs ult going into this fight. So it looks to be in favor of TEA as things develop. They have so much more in their pocket.
They do, but they also don't quite have the positioning just yet. They'll have to find a way onto this Drake, which is coming through with a teleport. Unodo's Thresh trying to find the flank there. Piplup going to be stunning up too with that Pop Blossom. It is enough to find damage onto Illicit Raven. Pick up that kill very early on. Unodo's Thresh keeping alive just for now. Does eventually go down to Lil Juice Pack. That being said, OTF will get 200 years done as its Trinket gets that shut down. Give Me a Cup Twice. Will have to flash away as all this damage is coming through from Koopa. Flash forward from Outrage trying to find the kill. Not enough. Snared up onto the set. Getting low. Will have the W though. Not quite finding that true damage, and it will be its Trinket getting the kill onto the enemy top laner. Bane now very low. Lil Juice Pack in pursuit. Not going to quite find it, and there it is from Bane getting that extra damage on that little bum as he throws forward. Does have the damage to find lethal there. Give Me a Cup Twice. Does find the stun. Does find the damage. Gets the kill onto the enemy ADC. So a bit scattered with this fight, but it's long enough for a bit of these respawns to come through. But they are on the side of TEA. And yeah.
The Sejuani getting so far ahead, providing this insane tanky wall for the entirety of this dragon setup and fight does not go down. Dixon even though the carries took some ramp up time, the front line is so strong that it was that was wild fighting from Give Me a Cup Twice.
Yeah, there's also so incredibly like just scattered all around too, and it gave I feel like with Wukong being able to almost take down Bane there, completely zoned him off that fight. He faced. I mean, even though, Bane well done and pretty much did all he could do there when walking into enemy Wukong, still, at the very least, that did kind of keep him out, keep that huge amount of damage source from the Ziggs just not really being able to do much there. And so, yeah, really well played from the front line of Tenebrous Esports to pick out that win of the fight. That being said, OTF will get snared up by Piplup. Pop Blossom comes through, will find the stun onto the enemy mid laner, but the heal now from Emilio's Campfire will keep OTF alive long enough to find the kill onto the enemy ADC. Wait, did I see that right? No, it's Trinket's name popped up and got the kill onto OTF. He got the kill onto Nico. Sometimes I see something and then something else pops up and my brain goes, oh,
hey,
let's talk about it. Do you ever get that where it's just like, wait a second, that's not what happened?
that happens to me whenever I see something shiny. So don't you worry.
Yeah.
All right. So about 5 minutes ago, we had the discussion of the gold lead being almost identical. Look at the gold lead now. It is creeping in the favor of TEA as they are fighting for this Nash.
Yeah, they are starting it up at 23 minutes. And the teleport from Outrage does come through. We'll get here in time. It will be contested. Stolen by Dynasty Amethyst, but Uno Dos Thresh will get out of this one alive. Shutdown picked up by Toxic Koopa, as well as the shutdown getting picked up on the It's Trinket. It's 3-for-1 in response to this fight, as well as a Baron getting stolen away by Dynasty Amethyst. As you were saying, that gold lead, well, now it's over to the side of Dynasty Amethyst, and they have the map advantage and a Baron power play to boot.
It does not matter how big your gold lead is. It doesn't help your smite. It doesn't help your smite. You can
not anymore.
The world. You could still walk in and lose the smite fight. That was a great steal from Wukong.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where, especially Wukong or really any sort of jungler that has a dash, Uno Dos Thresh on the flank must have teleported in somewhere. That being said, enough healing, enough shielding coming out from the Emilio will keep his team alive, and it'll be OTF picking up the kill onto the enemy top laner.
Okay, so credit to Emilio. This is why they first picked it. This is why you might have to ban it going into game 2. He is making killing people very difficult.
Yeah, the AoE healing from the campfire. And also his ultimate, even though it is the AoE cleanse, it is the reverse of Mumu ult. It also I believe, even at rank 1, it heals 400 health or something like that. It's actually disgusting, the amount of healing that his ultimate can get out in those squeaky bum time situations.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. So that coming in clutch there, that said it's Trinket stepping up to Outrage, knowing that he has some support close in behind, support from, well, his support, Piplup trying to find the snare there, will go wide. Outrage with the fancy footwork, won't get caught out there. That being said, stun will land from OTF, and Bane, I mean, once that stun comes through from the Syndra, just can't really do much there. That's going to be another kill getting picked up by OTF as he goes to 8, 4, and 5 there. This fight isn't quite over just yet. We have a bit of posturing once again towards the bottom lane. That being said, Outrage on the flank might try to pick up the failures or someone from the back line to initiate this fight. And it would be a absolute boom if he can here. We'll get swatted out by a few of these wards. We'll kind of just decide against.
Oh, the Sejuani
at least for now, Sejuani ult will be closed.
Yeah.
It was I will admit, it was a very hype moment. It was split up. But yeah, cleanse is something.
Yeah, this is an interesting point in the game. Whoa, they are.
Oh, they're pushing way a bit too far up here. Piplup going low, Piplup going down before the Bot Blossom can well pop. And now give me a cup twice. Nowhere to go. Gets burned down from all the damage on the enemy team. It's Drink now probably going to go down. Will go down there. And that's going to be a massive fight win for the side of Dynasty Amethyst. And so very quickly, this game has just turned on its head 180. And what was, I mean, the goal difference is about the same as it was at both extremes when we were first talking about Tenebrous' goal lead there just a few minutes ago, really.
It was 18 minutes when we spoke about it the first time, 22 minutes when we spoke about it the second time, and 26 minutes, and if you turned on the game now, you wouldn't, it was, what is going on? One team is on soul point. This will be the defense of that. The other team is sitting on a gold lead, a 5k gold lead, or a 4k gold lead. Think about what you could buy with 4,000 gold in a game of League of Legends. It's almost any big item that you need. So,
Oh, no. It's always a heart and mouth moment when you see it like that, or a Jinx ult flying through towards an objective like that.
Yeah. So, okay, we're looking at 2 minutes on the Nash. The last Nash fight that developed, Outrage and Friends, the team of Dynasty Amethyst, they used a lot of things prior to the fight, and they were able to hold on. The fight before that was the Dragon fight, where Give Me a Cup twice was an impossible to kill champion. Since those moments, Sejuani has died twice, and the gold lead has swung into the favor of Dynasty Amethyst. So as Nash is spawning in 90 seconds here, I'm curious, every objective, the gold lead has swung back and forth aggressively. Does Dynasty hold the gold lead? Or are they going to throw it away? Every objective, it causes the pendulum. That's where it goes back and forth.
At least these last few objectives, sure, yeah, I can definitely get behind that statement. As we see a bit of the positioning advantage going to be claimed by the side of Dynasty Amethyst. Enough damage here. Is it enough? My lethal will flash away from the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but it won't even matter, as that will be OTF picking up yet another kill right before this Nash fight that's coming up in just about a minute here, but still fairly early on. I do believe those should be back up in time for that should it come to it.
Yeah, Isaac, and again, let's just say if you turned on the stream right now, Dynasty Amethyst is in the driver's seat. These guys, the bounties, the KDAs, the positioning. Look at the ward line. Look at the wards. Oh, aggressive.
That being said, maybe a little bit too much at first, but the AoE cleanses I was mentioning earlier, and that heal, it was looking very dangerous for a moment there for Dynasty Amethyst, but Melio just pressed R and decided no.
Yeah, the Breath of Life is... it's exactly what it says, a Breath of Life, when he pops that R.
Yeah, the healing on it's insane. I actually like the idea of like the reverse of Limu ultimate, but the amount of healing on that ability is just ridiculous.
Okay, we got 2 carriers looking at Outrage on the set.
Yeah, we'll find a bit of CC coming through. Give Me a Cup twice is here, but what do they have to sack for this? As there's the mid lane inhibitor tower going down, as they committed a lot towards the top side of this map. Maybe they might even lose. Now they lose the inhibitor.
Yeah, and at this point, you have to give Dynasty Amethyst credit for keeping, as they walk towards it a little bit, Nash on the back burner and just maintaining this position across the map. They have complete control of the game. They're going to reset. They're going to walk over to Nash. They do not want to let things slip up over here. Again, we have seen what happens the last few objectives with these aggressive pendulum swings back and forth. The thing is, if you are Dynasty, you might want to try to do the Nash before the dragon spawns, so you don't give them free soul or have to choose between one or the other. And this soul spawn is in 90 seconds.
Yeah, that's definitely something to take into consideration. Definitely something that I would imagine that they would look to start doing there, or maybe find a play on to Give Me a Cup twice and ensure that there's no smite available for said objective. As they're all collapsing here, Outrage now going to be sped up a little bit, not quite going to find the pullback there, but being said, won't stop just yet. Stridebreaker will slow the enemy Sejuani. Stun comes through, but it's just not enough damage immediately. Ult coming through, and that being said, that will leave a lot of space onto the back line. Piplup will come through, but here's you're saying, here comes Jackson teleport, get off screen there. That being said, not enough damage from the rest of his team to keep them distracted long enough. Now Udo does thresh what was looking like a very good flank angle. Just a bit caught out there. Maybe a slight miscommunication from the team. Bit too early, perhaps, or maybe a bit too late from the teleport. But it was definitely looking dangerous for a few seconds.
Yeah, whether it was too early or too late, the second the entire team turns on the one guy, it's usually pretty bad. I don't know if it was too early or too late. You know what I do think it was? Too far away.
Yeah. Well, It was too far away. Too far away. I was thinking like if he teleported in earlier, because they were having that exchange of abilities there like a few seconds before, right? I was
Oh,
thinking
just
like
teleport
if he's
instead of being
arrived,
on the flank. Yeah, yeah, I like
yeah,
this.
if he's walking up as they're fighting and like not as they're running away from the fight, I think that goes slightly differently.
Okay, so we don't. It looks like we're not
But
having to choose between objectives. The
no,
dragon
not
is up.
just
This
yet.
is sold.
Outrage will get snared up, but
Showstopper.
will take the showstopper, and that show has been put to a halt. It will not go on. Massive counter fight from the side of Dynasty Amethyst, and there's just not much that you can do on the side of Tenebris Esports here. That being said, Uno's Thresh will kind of, I may have told a lie there. That being said, Piplup will get the kill onto the enemy ADC at the very least in trade, but overall, it's it's not good. It's not good for yeah, not all that great for Tenebris Esports. They will have Guinea Cup twice still alive, but too far away from the straight to really contest it. So it won't be on the table for a potential trade of objectives with that Nash available. Actually, I think you just might head straight to it right here.
You know,
maybe.
Usually games are won in the end and not at the beginning, and that's really when push comes to shove why people say the first dragon doesn't matter, why people say the second dragon doesn't matter. These guys were sitting on Soul before
why spring split doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, do you hear Peter now? Do you hear Double Lift now? Do you hear him? Anytime he's on camera, he says it matters. It's insane.
Spring split doesn't matter.
It matters. Games matter. The only thing that matters is wins and losses.
It's just a really.
No, I love it. That's how I knew what you were talking about. Literally, the last clip of Peter he was saying that it matters. He can't help himself. All right. Here we go. Nash is spawning. Enough about Double Lift. Let's talk about the guys in our game. We don't even like Double Lift here.
Oh, we don't?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I don't necessarily have too strong, but I think he's definitely entertaining. And really, at the end of the day, it's entertainment piece. But either way, to refocus on this map once again, Dynasty Amethyst going to be able to claim positioning of this Baron pit. That being said, TA going to have a little bit more of at least statistics, taking that right in the bottom side does have teleport, so slight vision advantage. That being said, they do have a ward in that Baron pit.
Yeah, looks like they're nice to try to trade for Inhib Tower. Oh, they're pulling off. Maybe try to make it out.
Soul going to go a little bit short there. And as the Drake comes in, it was not stolen by the enemy Sejuani. Give me a cup twice will just go down here. Very valiant attempt from the TEA jungler. But it will be a trade of Baron for this bot half inhibitor.
Yeah, and we spoke about it.
Oh, wait. Little Juice Pack isn't over just yet. Finds Piplup. Piplup not going to be able to get the Pop Blossom in time. And that's going to be another kill going over to the side of Dynasty Amethyst. Just kind of on it. Just in a bit of a strange spot there. I mean, they do call it a pick for a reason, and that's exactly why.
Yeah.
Right there.
And Bane doing a good job with something that we discussed during pick and ban, and that was the split push potential from our Ziggs friend here.
He hasn't picked up that static chip yet.
No. But you know what? Dynasty.
I need more static chips.
There's one in this game. I'm winning so far.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Aphelios is going. I mean, maybe. There's either way. That's a little bit less important at this present moment, but because we do have a very, I guess, hairy affair right now. Very, very tenuous sort of touchy-feely kind of game state chart.
Yeah, about 5k gold lead, 6k gold lead. There's about 1,200 worth of gold on bounties if you can start picking up some team fight wins. The next objective isn't for 90 seconds, which would be Soul for TEA and Soul Point for Dynasty Amethyst. The Mountain Drakes are starting to stack up on an already tanky-looking team. Both sides do have a nice front line. Melio is providing something that TEA just can't match, and that's this unbelievable amount of healing. The
That's
Breath of Life,
balance.
yeah, the Breath of Life, the Ardent
Sorry.
Cancer is stacking up, and for a team that has a really good layered CC comp potential with the Felios, with the Nico, with the Sejuani, with the Jax, all you have to do is find a good opportunity, press Melio ult, and Breath of Life saves everybody.
Yeah,
We've seen it all game.
we've said it. We've seen it multiple times already. Where it's probably about. Oh wait, hold on. OTF. That it is.
Vaporized.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw a Jax there. I'm not sure. I must have been seeing things there because there's no Jax there anymore.
Yeah.
Jax who is 0-9 now. Not exactly having the best of games, but I mean there were a few good ideas though coming through there from Uno Dos Tres. That being said, I will stop now as we have the showstopper coming through to look to end this game. Outrage, find and kill odds of enemy support. So in a 3v5 under their own towers, you have to feel surely this will be game one going over to the side of Dynasty Amethyst as they pick up yet another 2 kills onto the Sejuani and Aphelios. And that will be very conclusive as Dynasty Amethyst destroy the Nexus and take game one here in this series.
Yeah, and honestly, like one of the things that I was really liking from Dynasty Amethyst was the set showstopper isolating somebody into the Wukong Cyclone, and there you're taking someone away, you are knocking someone up. You can follow up with the Ash ult. Their comp is really strong when you think about it, and it's very easy to pull off comp.
Yeah,
this is something we called out in Pick and Ban.
Yeah, it is. They executed their fights exactly in the way that I imagined, and a few of those times where a TA would initiate onto Outrage, it was a bit. I was like a bit unsure why they would do that because he would just pick up the Sejuani and throw him back into the enemy team, gets like 50 bajillion damage from that, and then stuns up the enemy team, and it's just like, yeah, that's just set things really. Played right into his strength, played right into their team composition strength, and very just maybe not so great first 10 minutes, but at the end of the day, as you said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish the game. And Dynasty Amethyst finished off very strong, take game one here. But with that, unless you have
I have a player of the game. I was kind of curious if you had someone in mind.
I'm torn between Piplup and wait, I have my names backwards.
Emilio?
Yeah, Emilio. Why is my brain? No thoughts had empty.
Raven.
I'm going to. Yeah, it is Raven. God, I'm going to say Outrage simply because a lot of those fights that he started that were very decisive towards the end there. I'm going to make it easier and go with my original decision that I had. I was going to explain why I wasn't quite going to put it on Emilio, but whatever. Enough about that. I'm going to go with Outrage.
Nice, yeah, and Outrage was sitting at just behind the Ziggs, Bane's 898 damage. He did the third most damage in the game. Outrage had a heck of multiple great team fights. The showstopper, I found myself screaming. I'm gonna have to be drinking some tea later because of that. I honestly, my player of the game was gonna be OTF and his Syndra. He topped off the game in damage, but I'm a buddy of Isaac's, and I'm gonna side with Outrage. I love screaming the showstopper. I hope my voice works later.
It is a fun ability because like even when Set was so broken on release, if you remember that, I was like, his kit's still really fun though, right? It was like I was thinking it's broken. People were complaining about Set being 200 years champion. I'm like, he has this is like the best champion kit we've had in a bajillion years, and so I've always been a fan of Set, and it's nice to see. Coming through for that now, but with that, we will send it to a break. But when we come back, it will be game 2. Dynasty Amethyst intended for us Esports Astral and that draft. So don't go anywhere because we'll have that for you in just a few moments. So a little bit slight of a communication issue between the players and production. So different draft links were kind of sent out. We were kind of wondering where that was. Turns out they were drafting without us watching. So bans immediately are Vayne, Ivor, Nico, Silas, Blitzcrank, and Lilia all taken away. As Udyr wasn't available last time, so we see it locked in now.
Kind of cool to see Piplup's Nico ban. They said that was kind of annoying. Let's just not have to deal with that.
To force them onto something different. But if you are tuning in for the first time, first of all, welcome. But for those who have been here for game one, it is actually Tinniverse deciding to stay on red side this time around. So, even though towards the end of that game, that decisive turning point with the Baron steal, I said up to that point it was largely going over in the favor of Tinniverse. So perhaps they think that if they can clean things up a little bit, they should be able to take game two here.
Yeah, and already a different look on the draft. They had Nico picked pretty late last. They had Nico picked R3 and R1. They already go with Thresh.
LeBlanc, here's my static shift. I just need 6 this game.
There's the static shift mid for sure.
Yeah.
The famous LeBlanc static shift mid. We're gonna get a chance to see that from our buddy OTF, who was piloting the Syndra last game. So it's cool we get to see Bane on the Syndra after that Ziggs performance. Also, we get an opportunity to see Give Me a Cup twice. Oh, sorry. We get a chance to see Lil Juice Pack running at people on the Udyr this time. A little bit more tanky, kind of scary.
Yeah, it's no longer Flash Bear Slap, is it? It's like Flash, I forget the animals. I know it's the different Freljordian gods. That is a Mumu getting locked in for Dynasty Amethyst.
Yeah. So we're going to get a chance to see Raven on the Amumu. Last game he played the Melio. Very different looks from the bot laners. Both supports, both seem to want to play or show their performance on another style support. And you can't blame them. Both were on kind of those enchanters before, those mages. And now they're swapping to an engage option.
They're swapping to the fun option. Totally not biased in that assessment at all. What are you talking about? That being said, talking about more engaged, Sejuani going to be the option from Tinniverse Esports, taking that one R3 and a few questionable ultimates last time out, but also
Was
still
a
has that
unkillable wall for the entirety of all
of 15 minutes
early,
about
mid, yeah.
About 15 minutes, and it really was that Baron fight that quickly changed the fate of that last game. So yeah, something very similar set going to be taken away. Understandable. It was a bit traumatizing, I do have to say.
No more showstopper screaming.
No more
which is nice.
showstopper.
I'm gonna have a nice cup of tea.
The show must go on.
I like what you did there. So we get a chance to see TEA on a different ADC as well. No Aphelios opportunity and no Nico opportunity. It's kind of interesting to see Nico banned, Aphelios banned. They also removed the Syndra from that like we're seeing a brand new team from Dynasty.
Yeah, up until it's definitely a guaranteed 80 different ADC this time around. So fairly different lineup from Tenebris, despite the fact from my first assumption for them staying on red side that they were probably going to run something similar as staying on that red side. They as Will mentioned again, they definitely played that the first 15 minutes of game one very nicely and oh wow. So locked in, excuse me there, and that's another static shift, first of all. Second of all, I do like how there's the synergy here with the rest of the composition being able to jump in. That being said, Draven getting picked up by Dynasty Amethyst, getting that heavy early power on that champion coming through in the bot lane. So we will have that. Well, it's always exciting to see Draven.
Loving Dynasty Amethyst comp developing. Amumu pulls the Q, gives an opportunity to Udyr run up to you and slow you down. Amumu pops the second Q, all the while Draven's throwing axes over the top. LeBlanc kills someone in the back line. Ooh, Varus instead.
I mean, I do like it as in terms of like, because I need more static chids, right?
True.
Like I'm currently sitting at 3 this game, so
yeah. I actually like the Varus more. I wonder if they're talking about, like, I wonder what that conversation is.
It's the decision tree of can it build static shiv? Yes, no.
True, they're definitely listening. They're hooking you up.
It's not that simple, but
I
went to their pay. I went to coach's PayPal and was like, can we get more static chips, please? And serving up here is Ord will be locked here for Dynasty Amethyst, getting that little bit extra of AoE CC that will definitely be able to combo with a Mumu very well.
All right, what are we picking into the Ornn? Uno Dos Thresh piloting the Jax last game into the set, and we are hovering the Garen, potentially trying to spin to win. We can't imagine that be the lock.
I doubt it. This is when, right? Hear me out. Uno Dos Thresh, right? He's a top laner. He has Thresh in his name, and he plays crit Thresh top, and then they throw Melio in support.
That's a match that everybody would love to watch.
Hold on. Garen. Never mind. Okay. I don't know if I like it in terms of composition, but I absolutely love it in just the fact that we have Garen in a game 2 here.
Which world? Let me pitch you an idea. Sejuani ult. Kai'Sa shows up. Garen is spinning to the situation. If there's any bit of problem, you have Thresh Lantern to pull somebody out. It's insane. It sounds crazy, but it sounds fun if we can pull this off. However, the scariest things happening on the other side, like I painted a really cool, beautiful hypothetical situation, but the things on the other side are like an Amumu with R and an Ornn with R, like these are, and also a Marius with R. Our static Shiv buddy LeBlanc. That's scary.
Yeah.
I love TEA's comp when you're playing with the boys. Dynasty's comp is scary in a game.
Yeah. I think they cooked a little bit too much there, because like up until that Garen pick, I was actually think they had a fairly nice composition. When they locked in Kai'Sa, I was like, yeah, that fits in with what they have. Right? Being able to ult in there with the team and being able to reposition out of any sort of engage that Dynasty Amethyst would have. I'm just not sure how in a wait. Are you seeing this in the client?
Oh, Thresh is top.
Wait, yeah.
Oh,
hold on.
Maybe he does play Thresh.
I was only half joking because I was genuinely thinking I thought Melio into the Dynasty Amethyst's composition would be just like get so much value from it. I was like, maybe Uno Dos Thresh does pull out the crit Thresh. I was only slightly joking with that one, but I wasn't expecting. Yeah, because Citra's bit this is Garen's support.
No, Garrett.
This is Garen's. I mean, it has to be.
What are we getting? What are we watching tonight?
No way! No way! They have to be trolling. Surely they trade, right? Here in the draft?
I mean, we could still see a swap.
We still can.
They've got a swap.
Sure, they have to be, surely. Like, they did not take game one. They're in a... This is for first seed.
Listen to us and play this. Play this to win. His name is Uno Dos Thresh. This is it. This is it. We're getting it.
I mean, I would have liked it if they picked Milio 5th. There's no way.
Real.
No, surely they have to trade this away, like right now, right? Like Garen goes top here, right? The trade.
There's 10 people in this game. Only 2 of them have to press a button to fix this into some normality. Only 2 of them have to.
They have 20 seconds. They have 20 seconds to do this. They just have to hover to the other one, click request trade, and then they have to accept. You know, they have 15 seconds to do that. I think they're going for it.
We're going it. I'm writing this.
They're going for it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Tenebris Esports Actual are officially. No wait. There's still a second left. No, we had 20 seconds. Tenebris Esports Actual have locked in Garen support and Thresh top.
We are getting League. We're getting a game of League.
This. Let's go. I was at first not excited. In terms of like compositionally, I'm even less excited about this now. But in terms of just hype levels, this is incredible. Like it has gone through the roof. It is. Wow. Okay. Garen's support. What do I even do with this?
DEA is in the kitchen cooking. We are gonna get potentially 3 shivs this game. I only predicted 3 in the series. We might get 3 this game.
It's likely, yeah. Dude, Garen support crit Thresh top wins. We go to game 3, get another 3 static shivs. Game 3, 7 static shivs.
Exactly what I was getting at. There's a world where if TEA wins, that automatically you land the static shiv game.
Yeah, because you get another 3 next game. But yeah, the static. Either way, I mean that. Oh my god! I mean.
What are you building? What is he building?
What are you gonna do with this? I mean, Stride Breaker maybe get the slow it and just run at the enemy team, like win lane, win game.
What if he builds Heartsteel?
Would he get that much health from it though? I mean, like.
You got full crit?
Full crit? Oh wait, the Thresh or the Garen? Who are you talking about?
Thresh.
No, Crit Thresh.
He's gonna do that? This is gonna be crazy. I'm pulling up his op.gg. I
mean, probably not, but okay, so back in, do you remember the original Storm Razor?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crit Thresh.
Yeah, Crit Thresh top and that tech.
Is this just something that nobody plays against and he might catch a W?
I feel like it has to be, right? Because like oh my god.
Okay, I am scrolling through my new friend Uno Dos Thresh's op.gg, and there are some Thresh games here. There are some Thresh games.
Yeah.
Something. None of them are in the top lane.
I mean, I feel like you'd get like banned pretty fast if you played like into 10 straight games of Crit Thresh top, but
these are. Oh my god! I cannot wait for whatever is about to happen.
Well, on that note, it'll be it will be a very short spectator delay as we're almost starting to onto the rift, but we'll be short. We'll go to a slight break, and when we're back, we will have this really just interesting game too.
Before we leave, how many static shivs this
Oh, yeah,
game? Leave it in
important.
chat.
Static shivs. Yeah.
How many
Static.
static shivs this game? Leave it in chat. I want to see at
Look,
least
look
two
at the
numbers in
chat.
chat.
Guster, not Buster Posey, says static shiv Nasher's Thresh. Wait, hold on. I think he's cooking. Wait, hold on. I think.
Everyone's
Wait,
in this game.
wait, hold on. We're getting 4 static shifts. I do see that angle.
4 static shivs.
4 static
Somebody
shifts
message.
on the Thresh.
All right. Well, before we cast this, I'm gonna message a player from both teams and just let them know we need more static shifts. We are going in the right direction.
Oh yeah. All right. Okay. So now it'll be an extremely short break.
I'll go run and get ice.
Yeah, go on. Like, maybe take a chance to blink your eyes. Oh wait, no,
we're back.
on to the rest.
Here we go.
You know what? We don't even have a spectator delay this time because.
I don't.
Oh wait, no, we do have a game pause. There was ADC. The ADC was, I would believe it was
Toxic Koopa.
It's Trinket. Well, Koopa was experiencing PC issues, so that will be our chance to throw to a break. Who knows how long that will be? But when we come back, it will be game 2 between Dynasty Amethyst and Tin vs Esports. Don't go anywhere. And we are back for game 2, and a quick look at things. It looks like it's more of a positional swap than a Thresh top,
Here
unfortunately.
we go.
But either way, we do have 5 mid and 5 bot. Neither of these teams will see each other, but they don't quite know that. So it's
Here we
always
go.
some fun moment as they
Here
start
we
getting
go.
into the bot side blue jungle. A bit unsure here. Yeah, this is definitely...
But when you don't
really
see anyone, that's the scariest. That is the scariest. Here we go.
Got all 5. Bloodbath incoming.
Run!
They don't see each other here. But that's what it's welcome to. It's really supposed to illicit raping thing. Oh my god! Yeah, getting the first blood. Outrage will get the return kill though. So both top laners, both taking a kill there. And they'll just walk away. Give me a cup twice, taking a lot of damage there. So we'll be a little bit behind on his clear probably, unless he gets this leash here. But
Holy moly, I hope you're sitting up in your chairs at home because that is how you start a game of League. Wow.
Yeah. So
go ahead.
I was going to like slow it back down for a bit since we're just probably going to get the jungle players here. Just to take a quick look at the summoner spells used, and what might be important to note is that Piplup in the top lane, not the support this time around, has used flash, so no flash there on the Garen, potentially gank towards that side, coming up with a lot of CC. Gordon does a lot of damage early on, a surprising amount, so it could potentially come through there. Also, no flash on illicit Raven there on the Amumu can definitely get a very nice gank off there as a result, but we'll just have to wait and see coming through as those first games start to come up.
Yeah, I would make sure you get those wards down as Garen, not typically known as a champion with a great escape.
Oh, the bandage toss will land. Should have another one fairly soon. Will land the second one on stun onto Uno Dos. Thresh Death Sentence now coming in response. Stuns up illicit Raven. I don't know. My brain always sees Riven because we're playing League, and it's like.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Validate the confusion.
Yeah. Actually, at this point, I think I might have read Riven all the way up to this point until now. It's like, oh wait, no, I just noticed that it's Raven. Wait, I guess either way, yeah.
We're looking at a full clear from both jungles, which will provide potentially both of them showing up to the top lane, which would be very, very, very helpful for the Ornn as Garen is shoving in, collecting on the cull. The illicit Raven hooked. With the follow-up on the play.
Flay's not going to find enough damage on the Raven, and that's going to be both flashes used from the bot lane of TEA there. Not exactly the best situation to be in there without any of those abilities to hop away early on. So another point of contention in this game to look forward to, maybe.
Okay, Sejuani is letting the top laner, letting Piplup know she is on the way.
Yeah, got a massive wave though. Science does come through, does hop away in time. Give me a cup twice. Will not be able to stun up for long enough there. Maybe knocked away as the passive comes through on the Ornn W. Flash away from Give Me a Cup twice. Piplup, no flash himself, will try to find Outrage, but here comes the tower shot. Little Juice Pack will get the first kill. The first kill not in that 5v5 bot lane.
Yeah. Piplup may be thinking he was not going to be able to get away in time, but so does turn to try to spike kill that. Does have the teleport in the pocket to be able to get right back. This is a tremendous wave. You do not want to let this thing crash on your tower without being there.
Yeah, and that being said, Bane going to be snared up. Little Juice Pack here, and there's another gift for him picking up that kill. 3-1, the kill count. That being said, the stun up from Give Me a Cup twice won't quite find the flail there to land a second up stun, so that won't be the kill getting traded. And once again, I mean, Outrage doing fairly nicely in that top lane on the Zorn.
And at this point, Little Juice Pack thinks that he can go anywhere and get a free kill. He is just looking for them.
Yeah, and but going back to the one thing I really liked from Outrage in that last fight, something that I found impressive was he put the auto attack onto the enemy Garen as it was brittle to knock him back away and keep himself alive, because Garen did have the empowered auto attack available on his Q. Yeah. I feel like that probably would have been enough to kill there, but very Very
And
good alertness from Outrage to keep himself alive there, and not even giving up that kill in the second one. And as he teleports back, is looking like he's starting to build a freeze here, and it might just get worse out here for Piplup.
yeah, yeah. And bot lane has been a bloody situation. We've seen both junglers we've seen Give Me a Cup twice and Tenebris Esports Astral put a priority on these early dragons. That looks to be what they're setting up. They do have the priority in the bot lane, so I think that's what we're going to get. The thing is, we saw that last game.
OTF does get quite a bit of damage down, has hit level 6. One more auto attack maybe is not quite enough. Airy coming through, not going to be enough damage in return on the other hand, so both these mid laners have gone very low, and that is going to get a response towards this mid lane. They say, arrive OTF, no, oh wait, auto attack.
Wow.
Their abilities to hit a single auto attack.
That was a knife's edge. This is happening before the static shiv before the static shiv purchase. At that point, OTF is going to have complete control of this lane. This could be a little bit dangerous. Okay, so that fight did pull TEA off of the dragon. They did have a lot of priority. You know what? There's a chance that after blue buff, Kai'Sa and Thresh are going to be able to get shoved in the bot, that they do set this back up. And it looks like that's what we're going to get. However, one of the things we've seen last game was one team setting up early for an objective and getting punished for it. And I think that is what is developing yet again.
Maybe for the second Drake, but I mean, as it stands, Lil Juice Pack's on the opposite side of the map. So I mean, he is Udyr. He can like zoom towards this side of the map, but I doubt it.
Yeah, you're right. And they are getting the pings. They know they're there. And again, Dynasty really doesn't have a lot of pressure on these early dragons. We saw that, I mean, for the first 3, mainly from them last game. So.
Oh, hold on. The snare will come through from OTF, and that's Bane down to half health already. And these auto attacks are already starting to hurt quite a bit from LeBlanc. Not something you expect to hear very often, but 2 long swords and the Kirsten shard? Whatever it is. It's the static shiv lights is what I'm going to call it. As it is, there it is. That's it. Wolfine spends a little juice pack, but the amount of damage in return from OTF is absolutely massive. Going to pick that one up as it's now 5-1. The kill count going over to Dynasty Amethyst, and very early on, is Amethyst looking to just run away with this one. Little juice pack might be in a little bit of a troubling situation here. Doesn't really have much else to go. Gets stunned up by the Glacial Prison. Wait, no, not. You know, ignore that. As Bane picks up the shutdown there.
Yeah, and that should play right into the hands of TEA as they already want to play around objectives. That would give an opportunity to play for the Rift Herald unless they want to gank Outrage, which looks like is what is happening. The proc on Demolish did go down in the top. The Ornn ult is coming.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Knocks up too. A lot of damage comes immediately. Won't quite find enough of them. And there it is. Demacia as he gets the Demacia Justice through. Finds that execute. Tom's able to get the first kill here, though. It's Trinket maybe trying to find something in response. Flash, it's very patient from Toxic Koopa. Perhaps a little bit hasty from its Trinket. Will not quite land that arrow there, but I feel like that was definitely have had lethal there had it landed.
Yeah. So Udyr, Lil Juice Pack here to kind of balance out the top lane shove from the Garen.
Stun comes through. I mean, his top laner's not going to be here very long, but he's just going to be able to collect the wave, and I do it's respect, you know.
Yeah.
That gold doesn't go to nobody, and so yeah, you know, good awareness from Lil Juice Pack, probably even good communication from Outrage. I mean, we don't have access to the comms, but I would imagine that's part of it.
So I wonder what the plan is for the Herald, considering we all know Call of the Forge God is down.
It is down for quite a while, but
like,
there's no positioning here, and doesn't look like it will be contested, really, at all. Unodo's Thresh does land the hook. Essence comes out. It's just not a lot of damage on Bane just yet. Bandage Toss not landing there. That being said, you cannot stop the Curse of the Sad Money as he flashes in. OTF going to pick up yet another kill. And with the Herald claimed and an enemy team member down, Dynasty Amethyst I mean, they're continuing to push their advantage here. Maybe with the Rift Herald mid might be able to find a bit there as well, as there's only 2 members in that mid lane. One, which is the Thresh. They won't decide to use it. I don't know. I kind of would have liked to see them drop it there.
Yeah, we got about 90 seconds again on the Dragon. You might want to use that Herald to leverage that situation. Also, our girl LeBlanc coming back with our item Static Shiv. Could you imagine what that might do with the Rift Herald? And the Demolish proc procking again. You know, we are slowly seeing TEA get picked apart here by Dynasty.
Slowly? Hold on, slowly? It's been a fairly fast. We have 10 kills in about 11 minutes here, and there's attempted dive, but as there's just no knowledge on where the enemy team members end for the side of TEA, so very quickly what looks like they think is going to be an easy dive turns out to be an absolute nightmare. Call of Forge God comes through, man's knocked up onto Piplup, but it's not enough damage through. Already getting that Fiddle proc down. Demosthenes Justice will find the kill onto Outrage, picking out solo kill in the top lane, but straight over to the bot side of the map. OTF back up. I wish we had the cooldown on Static Shiv, because this next auto attack is going to do a bit of the health bar. The deadly fast jump would be able to Lantern thrown down, but the last auto attack they're going to be able to do enough damage from the Amumu as they pick up the kill there. So even though for a second that Bade might get away, it's going to be yet another kill going over to the side of Dynasty Amethyst.
Okay, so you pointed out a great thing earlier. Last game, we were 1-to-1 minute to kill for about 20 minutes. We are ahead of that mark. If you wanted to watch League of Legends and not be bored, you tuned into the right channel, ladies and gentlemen, because holy moly, we are about a kill a minute. More than a kill a minute this game now.
And as this tower gets low with all these range minions, Uno does Thresh, I feel like he just has to get out of here. That is one very fed LeBlanc. You can't save this tower. And we'll decide to after the turret goes down there, but definitely living dangerously there with that sort of positioning.
Okay, so Varus finished Bork. Doesn't mean he cannot get Shiv. Just means he might not get Shiv.
The game might be over before he gets Shiv at this rate.
Not true. That was.
I mean, well, they get second Herald, Shelly dances, maybe.
So
possibly.
I want to keep an eye on Sejuani's purchase after she backs, because we have a no boot Billy currently building. I always like to keep an eye out for those. You know why? Because I make the mistake all the time. But,
you know, it's very easy of a mistake to make when you not quite think about it. That being said, OTF just does so much damage. That was like 4 auto attacks and half of Bane's health are gone.
Static Shiv is very, very hard to deal with when played by LeBlanc. And I'm going to double check the OP.GG on OTF, but I'm almost positive LeBlanc was a pretty prevalent play champion by him.
Oh, hold on. It's Koopa does have the Chains of Corruption. Not going to use it there. Knows that Thresh is nearby. OTF still kind of hopping around on this bottom side of the map. There we go. Finally get a view towards this bottom side. We do have 4 members of Dynasty Amethyst here. Try to take this tower. They won't be able to get the next plate. They will get that 4th one. This plate does go down right about now.
So let's we're coming up on 15 minutes. We were freaking out about a Garen locking in, and I gotta say, going kind of good.
Yeah, definitely. That's probably one of the few bright spots so far in this game, because it's not been all that great for the side of Tenebrous Esports.
No, and I like it. If TEA is trying something new, they swapped. They let Uno Dos Thresh do what Uno Dos Thresh wants to do, play Thresh, and maybe Piplup was like, yeah, I can play top. I'll try it. I'll just play Garen. I mean, he's playing into Outrage. Outrage kind of went nutty last game, and the Garen's kind of doing a good job doing what you would want.
Yeah, really.
He's got a couple kills. I think he got 1 or 2 solo bolos. The question is, what is he gonna do when laning phase kind of ends? I'm excited. I think that the Thresh and the Garen combo might be
OTF auto. It's gonna be his whole health bar gone from auto attacks.
It's hard to, yeah. That's not a...
It's
Is that an
yeah.
AP assassin that I'm watching?
No, it's Twisted Fate with dashes.
Ooh, the Varus ult just goes wide. Just a little
It-
short, perhaps.
yeah.
Chain of Corruption.
Oh,
Oh, OTF.
does end up flashing there though, and OTF watch auto.
You know, but
Yeah,
you got to give...
It's not as effective onto Thresh, who does have a null magic mantle on him.
All right, so Herald is spawning. The pings are coming out from Dynasty Amethyst. They do want this thing. They have a lot of members of them, a lot of members of their team on the top side of the map. Ornn does have ult in the pocket. Here we go as things are developing. Static Shiv is shoving mid, making it difficult to get any form of priority in that lane. Uh-oh.
Oh, hold on. That's going to be giving me a cup twice, perhaps getting caught out of it here. Will Flash played Piplup, but really just... I mean, really, it comes down to it is likely miscommunication because Piplup said, we ball, and give me a cup twice said, Lamau no.
Yeah, and, I think this all...
Hold on, Outrage will use Call of Forge God. Bane going to take him down to about half health now, just wailing away on the sword, and that will be the snow. Bane does flash away. Outrage does have the flash. Flashes forward. Q is not enough.
That was wishful. A little wishful from our buddy Outrage.
Yeah, perhaps a little bit too late on the abilities. Thought he could maybe get to it without flashing, but instead...
on the other side of the map, yeah, Lil Juice Pack did finish the Herald. They're looking to use that in the mid lane potentially. This LeBlanc with Static Shiv is well into being a humongous problem. Like, it's just caused so much, like, not so much, it just caused, past tense, a humongous hole in the mid lane.
Alright, so I'm going to say this LeBlanc is not a problem, right? Because problems have solutions. This doesn't have a solution other than hope that LeBlanc messes up. So
yeah, you just hope you don't get targeted by the LeBlanc. Go for someone else, please.
Yeah, there's a saying that problems have solutions and predicaments have resolutions, and this LeBlanc sure is one hell of a predicament right now.
Oh yeah. Okay, so as the dragon is spawning, there's priority in the mid lane again over to the side, not again, well, maintained by the side of Dynasty Amethyst. Syndra holding position with Sejuani trying to back her up. Look at Garen on the flank. Ornn potentially has the biggest flank of them all. Keep an eye on Call of Forge God. I think it's about 15 to 20 seconds away.
That will be 15 and 20 seconds that Tinderverse will use to move towards this dragon pit, try to find some positioning advantage. That's the sign it's going to come to onto OTF. Get him down to half health. So that big source of damage on the LeBlanc available. Chain of Corruptions will down to the enemy Sejuani, and that is going to be a 3-man stun on the the Curse of the Sad Mummy, and it is an absolute stomp as it gets pulled up by the Call of Forge God. And there's just really nothing that Dynasty Esports can do there to find a way on. I feel like Piplup did as much as you could really expect him to do there, using that bush to silence the enemy LeBlanc to prevent that damage coming down, but it's just not enough at this point.
The team comp development and the way they can just engage is...
Go on, Piplup. Hit him, Piplup.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
learning the power.
Yeah. Oh, no, hold on. Really strong Q. Solo Bodo for Piplup, getting that shutdown at the very least. Does have that going for
justice on the Static Shiv. Get it out of my game. Get it out of my lane. I need the shutdown gold. It's freaking insane.
Oh, no, the berry spilled. No, where's my Static Shiv? Well, there's one on Kaisa, so I'll take that. That's 3 right now. So if the series ends like this, you might have won the ego bet. The bragging rights of this.
Shib off.
Too true.
Shib off.
You're better name for that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So that sounds like a B-Tech Hindu god.
Yeah. I don't know. That one went over my head.
Yeah,
But
there was an attempt. Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
I want Syndra to buy Shiv at this point. Not for any other reason, but my own personal enjoyment.
Don't you have 3 in the series now? Because there's one on Kaisa.
It would look amazing.
There was one last time. one last game to this game.
I really don't need one. I would win the tournament. Or
Yeah,
the,
you would
the
literally get the exact guess of 3 if we don't get any more static shivs. So I don't know what you're talking about with that.
All right, well, let's talk about this 20 minutes. We have a 8K gold lead on the side of Dynasty Amethyst. And beyond the 8K gold lead is the engage that Amethyst can pull that is completely overwhelming. The last time we saw it, it was like a tidal wave rolling over a small sandcastle. As Nash setup is going down,
OTF has some PTSD flashbacks there. Only uses the auto attack to clear the lane, and honestly, a very smart use of that static shiv. Using its power there. That being said, a teleport towards this top side of the map. They're just going to try to force Nash down really fast. As I said, a lot of members of TEA on the bottom half of the map. They will get short amount of vision, but there it is, not even being able to contest it. And there it is. The Bandage Toss will force the flash away from Unodo's Thresh. And so not only will they be able to claim the Baron for free, they'll also get a Summoner Spell out of the enemy support. So just for fun, you know? Feels good.
And Dynasty Amethyst is doing a really good job at not slowing the tempo down. They have used the one dragon to get to the next dragon, to get to the Herald, to get to the Nash, and the team being able to do that and not stay complacent in mid game or mid to late game is a sign of a team that plays really well together. Whoever shot calling is doing a really good job at keeping the tempo up.
Bandage Shots will find one dodge of that death sentence. Illicit Raven still coming through. Won't use that Curse of the Sad Mummy, and understandably so. Not really enough damage nearby to try to find a kill, but still, it's about sending a message that it's not your jungle anymore. That's the message they're sending.
And you got to give them credit as they're pulling back out of the jungle. They know Ornn does not have ult, and there's a world where if they stall, maybe Ornn just takes bot turret, which maybe, they're just going to get it anyway. Udyr's kind of doing an... Oh, man.
He should be alright here, because, look,
flash combo.
Udyr, and teleport does coming through. A lot of damage immediately. Demacia and Justice will rain from the sky, but, OTF now, the teleport down. Static Shiv, OP item. Not quite sure this is the situation that you consider it OP in.
Yeah, it's meant to clear waves, which is actually helpful for what's happening now.
Yeah, it keeps the turret up, for sure, yeah.
Although LeBlanc is trying to use it to kill champions right now.
But, it is not the best champion killer. Will distort back, but without any cooldowns left, does get marked up by the LeBlanc. Smite comes down. Sure, this is going to be OTF going down very, very shortly, right? Right? Guys, wait, hold on.
Through the Nash.
There we go. Piplup does get that kill there, but all the while, here's Outrage with those demolition procs taking, I believe it was 2 towers there.
Yeah,
maybe even 3. I think they had the tier 1 tower.
And Dragon is up in 15 seconds. OTF will not be there. OTF does not have teleport. OTF is a tremendous situation to deal with in the team fights. However, not a reason why they are able to pull the trigger. You're able to see them pull the trigger with the Amumu, with the Ornn follow-up, or the Ornn with the Amumu follow-up. While you're trying to deal with those things, that's when you're starting to see the chain of corruption show up. The team fight is really effective. LeBlanc just kind of is the pepper on top.
Just try to burn this down, and I think they will be able to.
It's going to be close.
Said, Give Me a Cup Twice is here. Won't be able to get in range of the Smite in time. That being said, it's true. He does find kill onto in the ADC very early on. Illicit Raven trying to find a bit more, and it just won't be enough as he goes down. And so all the while, even with Piplup being topside, claiming a few objectives there, we'll get a few towers in response, but overall, it will be fight go to decide Dynasty Amethyst.
Heck of a fight from Dynasty Amethyst. Heck of a situation. Unodo's Thresh just trying to survive here. Kind of.
I don't know how much this he can do. He's 5 levels down on Outrage and Little Fuse Pack. There he is. Gets the kill.
Okay, and now we're seeing a situation where Piplup knows he killed OTF. OTF knows he got killed by Piplup. Neither of them want to have, or one of them wants that situation to happen again. The other one obviously does not. On a knife's edge. Okay. Disdeveloping, a new word I just put together.
It's developing.
I was liking that. I like after the Garen killed the LeBlanc, I've been like I like watching them jockey around each other. Both of them kind of like are putting their thumbs in their ears and sticking their tongue out, but clearly doing it from far enough away that they can't touch each other.
It's really just a big game of chicken, because if OTF commits, OTF dies, because Garen just QER and wins. But Piplup really can't do anything either, because LeBlanc just jumps away.
Yeah, and honestly, just like shoves the wave somewhere else, and it's just
it's kind of cute, actually.
Yeah, so
it's kind of a little bit of a dance there.
Oh, here we go. There's something developing in the jungle.
OTF won't have that distorted way. He does use that jump back now, but will have lethal there. Bane 898 couldn't pick up that kill onto OTF, but at this point, probably not the biggest kill ever. That being said, the Glacial Prison will land onto Toxic Koopa, but there's not enough immediate damage, and as the Call to Forge Dog comes through, will find a kill onto Gimme a Cup twice, but Piplup is actually very fed right now, does find a kill there onto the enemy ADC. There's very little that he can do in that situation. The Empowered Blast Gun will lock a little juice pack a bit farther away now, and I believe they should be able to get away from this one fairly alright.
They want more.
Uno Dos Thresh finds the hook onto Outrage, but its Trinket is here now. But we have two very beefy boys, and as its Trinket is just landing through these auto attacks, not the most consistent damage ADC in the world available. We'll quite find that Void Seeker, and as they're slowed up, I have to imagine that this chase is concluded.
Yeah,
I mean, it should be. Wait, no, hold on. Outrage? Maybe agreeing it a bit, but Juice Pack is here to help him.
Yeah, unfortunately, its Trinket is not itemized to do that much work against these tanks, but Piplup is. Here we go.
There he goes, comes through. Outrage going to have to flash away. That being said, OTF gets a few more auto attacks. Those health bars were already low enough, and going on to that, Syndra will find the kill there, and as Baron spawned, I believe, not too long ago, they should try. I would imagine they should try to take this Baron.
OTF must have heard us debating on who got player of the game last game and giving it to Outrage because he came to play in game.
Oh yeah, for sure,
Not. I'm afraid to go to the bathroom by myself after this game because I might get assassinated by the LeBlanc.
All of a sudden, LeBlanc distorts in. Clears. What would be the bathroom equivalent? Oh my god, OTF gets the kill on the Trinket. Piplup though finds it on the back line, does find the trader kills, but I mean, there's no one else around him with all of those enemy team members around. I mean, it's a very valiant effort from Piplup, but really, what can he do in that situation? Get mid cup twice will just eventually get burned down on that Sejuani, and they will, it will be very claimed by Dynasty Amethyst.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the series.
That sentence steal from Uno Dos Thresh.
That would be amazing, but this is going to lead into a soul as well. This is follow up by Illicit Raven. The hook does go down. The ghost hook was locked into animation, but it wasn't enough. Okay.
No.
So again, I credited this team earlier for being able to keep the tempo. Look at this. They took Nash. They're all resetting. They're about to take Soul. Potentially all reset or just punish maybe bot lane because it'll probably be in a really good lane state at that point if they want to show. Here we go. They're going to defend mid first. Teleport away from the dragon.
Interesting. That being said, I do think they believe that there's no real way that they can contest these fights.
So you
Kimtech drank not exactly the best Drake available, so I think maybe you just Soul, not necessarily Drake, well even Drake, but definitely Soul. I think though Piplup topside try to split push. I think though it looks a bit strange, I think this might actually be their best course of action to try to find a win. Piplup, he's still going.
This is a genius play. The kill goes down.
Hold on.
Oh, he's alive up there.
No, he is alive. There's finally the kill. Outrage going down. That being said, over on the other side of the map, TEA doesn't have their main damage source for this fight, so we'll lose one there. And with these low health bars, this should be Kimtech Soul going over to the side of Dynasty Amethyst.
Oh my gosh, it's Trinket.
Oh, it's Trinket. Oh,
Goodbye.
Good. No, it was definitely a very valiant effort. Curse the Sand Mummy won't find you no dose thresh, and now.
That was a really good try. You know, I wonder if that was a stopwatch tech, a Zhonya's check, but you can't deny OTF for trying to stay alive.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's good. I mean, really, in that situation with Trinket, that's about as well as you can play the situation, being this far down in gold that they are. But I have to imagine this will be game right here, right? I mean, give me a couple twice. Going to try OTF very low. Wait, Piplup is insane. Wait, hold on. Piplup 1v5? Piplup 1v5? Go on, Piplup!
His help is so close. His help is so close.
Oh, wait.
Dude.
Get
help. Okay. No, he has his help. His carries are alive.
He does. It's Trinket's back up, but he's not exactly a tank buster at this point. So those auto attacks not going to be doing all that much on that Kai'Sa.
Okay, Lil Juice Pack has a heat-seeking radar for this Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa cannot survive anywhere Lil Juice Pack is living, because that man just beelines to him every time. Watch, keep an eye on Kai'Sa, watch the Udyr.
Yeah, and there's not really much its Trinket can do other than like ult flash, because currently its Trinket doesn't really do any sort of damage to the Udyr or the sword. Getting cut twice. Going to try to find Sansa Lil Juice Pack though. Not quite going to be able to find it. I mean, said ult forward from its Trinket, still just kind of tickling him down, but still on the bench. Might be able to find it there. Oh, yeah. You know, if I didn't laugh, I'd cry. You know, is that wow? Okay. Oh god. All right. That's okay. That's four level advantage for OTF onto its Trinket there. And with 5 ornaments. Now we haven't even talked about ornaments at this point. That's how crazy this game has been. We have 5 ornaments on the side of Dynasty Amethyst now, and surely it's only a matter of time. They're taking a bit of time here, trying to find Vayne there.
Trying to boost
stat padding? Piplup? Does fire? Is it Raven? Is alive? Go on, Piplup! No, because, I mean, he just had to go back and deal. I mean...
Good night.
Yeah, there we go.
Alright.
There we go.
There it is. Switch.
There it is. Took...
Risen, Dynasty, Isaac. That was one heck of a match, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
we were on an emotional roller coaster when we saw the Garen lock. The entire time we were on break, him and I were just screaming profanities and the word Garen at each other back and forth.
Yeah, during the whole, we almost didn't have a Spectre to delay with how much. But I mean, to be fair, Piplup was is marked as important. We will at some point have to figure out what the ruling on that is for Risen. We see maybe during this broadcast, maybe it'll be out in the Discord later. Who knows about that one? So stay tuned for that. But I mean.
All right. So let me tell you, we have Lil Juice Pack on the edge of an interview. I do want to point out a couple things before he hops in. So we talked about player of the game. We were on the fence between Outrage and we were on the fence about OTF. However, I want to put out a sleeper pick for the last player of the game being Lil Juice Pack with the Baron Nash steal and an insane KDA this game. So I would like to put out a new offer for Lil Juice Pack being player of the game, player of the series, locking it down.
In game 1, I can see that, but I mean, I think in game 2, I think we just OTF.
I'm looking at damage taken, and Udyr is a monster.
Has to be up there, surely, right? Yeah.
The
damage
most.
taken.
The most.
I don't.
That dude is a monster. Garen's damage was through the roof, over 40k damage. Piplup literally showed up game 3. Again, the engages from Raven on game 2 were nuts, and compared to the contrasting to the Melio last game is really impressive. Played great. I want to give credit to Koopa for being one heck of a role player. He played the Trinity Force Ashe game 1, and game 2 obviously played CC Machine on Varus with Attack Speed Monster. Again, Lil Juice Pack with the Nash steal and the KDA game 2. OTF's damage. I mean, if OTF plays with either of us, he's carrying us.
Oh, yeah.
And with that being said, Isaac, we have our buddy Lil Juice Pack here. Lil Juice Pack, good game, bud.
Appreciate it. What's up, guys?
One thing we didn't quite get to yet. I want your take on this. Mr. Charm here. He got the prediction of 3 static shivs this series correct.
Oh yeah, I mean, Static Shiv is just we need to be running it on repeat until it's nerfed. So
yeah, but yeah. So
I would like to
just kinda
talk
wanna point that out.
specifically about. I want to know from you who is your main pulling like shot caller for pulling the trigger, because game 1 your engages with the Wukong and the Set were insane, but game 2 the engages between the Amumu and you were insane. So are you calling for these fights, or are you kind of a role player in these fights? That's what I want to know.
I mean, most of the game, I'm calling most of the shots. When it comes to team fight, if someone sees an opening, we just kind of let whoever sees that opening take the lead. Like if we have Koopa on Ash, you know, he starts talking about using his arrow to start a fight. If we have Raven on Amumu, she doesn't talk as much, but we have, you know, she says, all right, we got the R here. I mean, you saw the flash R that she had at Dragon here earlier.
Oh,
She
yeah.
called that one out for us, and that one just, you know, kind of cascaded that game for us. But generally speaking, I'm trying to look as much as I can, especially in the early game, to make decisions around the macro plays.
Heck yeah. And again, like it was, I had a hard inkling that it was you calling for a lot of these engages, being that you were the center point on so many of the team fights, being just an absolute rock. That's, yeah, man, great. Excellent play. Excellent play. So the next question I have for you, who's your player of the game? Who do you think was like, oh man, dang, you killed it tonight. Who killed it tonight?
Both games, like the series.
Yep.
I mean, OTF is always a stellar performance. He and I work so well together. He plays good champs. I like to invade as much as I can. You didn't see it as much here because when we scrimmed these guys about 2 weeks ago, their jungler was always in other lanes, so I just sat inside of that jungler's jungle. And so you can see he tried to avoid that by continually just being full clear on Sedge, which didn't make sense to me, but you know, it helped us make more decisions around the map.
Yeah, and so I'd like to look forward a little bit more. That concludes the regular split this time around. Undefeated as the first seed. How does that shape up going to the first week of playoffs? So, like,
I mean, it's exciting. You know, we're gonna try to continue to be undefeated. We've got, you know, the next couple rounds should be a straight shot for us, but you know, once we get to the playoff bracket, it might be a little different.
And I was wondering, is this your guys' first time competing in Risen, or how many years together have you guys been playing? How many seasons?
Well, this is my second split ever playing. I played in CB one split, and then that was in Titan, and this will be my first with this group of guys.
And is this like
I think
the
this is OTF's first
Okay,
ever
cool.
split.
Is this the best performance you guys have had together? Like obviously then. This 5-0.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We are working well together. We have good decision making. We don't really have any disagreements. And you know, for my very short tenure of experience, the disagreements is what ends up getting to people.
Yeah, and then the only bit of advice I'll give you is sometimes when you're undefeated, it builds a cushion of that you forget about sometimes. And what you forget about is how grounding a loss can be in a competitive setting. You don't want to be 5-0, 6-0, 7-0 and save your losses for the end of the season. So don't be afraid if you catch a loss. If you're 5-1, 6-2, don't worry. Just make sure you as a leader or whoever is leading your team, like you said, it's personalities and the way you guys get along that makes or breaks a team. So you're off to a heck of a start. Don't let the bubble burst if you lose. Make sure you wrangle that in. It's okay to lose. It's okay.
I mean, it'll be pretty easy when we go undefeated, not to worry about the losses. So
Clip that. Clip it.
Yeah. All right. Not once for the record. But honestly, I thought the advice would be build more static shivs, but.
Isaac needed more static shivs for his.
I know. I said 7 static shivs. He said 3. There was 3 this series. I was
Listen, if we could, I like to play Shaco Jungle, and I've played it in Risen a couple times now. And you just run static shiv on that, so we could have seen an extra static shiv there.
Ooh.
Honestly when Piplup stayed on Garrett, I was like, "There's no way it's Garrett's support." I was like, "Okay, we get static shiv on like every champion here because you go AP Thresh top with static shiv." But I don't know that. I think this is probably a good place to call it. Right? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on this little juice pack. Good luck with your quest. Actually, you know if you guys get a bye in the first round as a result of being top seed, or
Well, next week every team
No,
gets a bye,
everyone.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're
Okay.
going into
Well-
bye week. Make sure you get a scrim or two. Obviously, you guys scrim once a week, twice a week.
Yeah, we haven't played the past like week and a half, 2 weeks, but as a team at least.
All right. Well, heck,
But
you guys look
we'll
great.
try to make sure we keep some scrims going.
Yeah. Well, we'll look forward to it. And with that note, I'm going to send it out. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks
for
for having
anyone
me.
tuning in. Yeah, thank you for coming on. Little Juice Pack. Well played, everybody else on the Dynasty Amethyst squad, as well as Tinniverse Esports Astral. I've been Isaac. Alongside me has been Charm. Behind the scenes has been Looney, and I think that's a wrap.
Yeah, that's us signing out for this evening. Thank you for joining us. If you guessed 3 static shivs, I'm glad you're on the top of the mountain with me. Again, my name is Charm Earth. Isaac, it's been a wonderful cast. We couldn't have done this without our buddy Wookie. Dynasty, thanks for holding it down. Risen, I love competing within you guys. I love competing around you guys. And last thing I'll say is, Little Juice Pack, I'll hit you up about a scrim. I'd love to play with you guys.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Other than that, have an excellent, excellent Sunday evening. I hope your Monday is bright and sunny. Isaac, any words of advice as we sign out?
Buy more static shivs.
Buy more static shivs.
Buy more static shivs.
Look both ways before you cross the street, and always smile at the stranger as you walk past them in the grocery store. That's it. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Good advice.